Good morning, fourth grade. We are ready for language lesson 168. This is our final lesson in language for this year. We have a review lesson today, so let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to review parts of speech and subject-verb agreement. So first of all, let's start with talking about the different parts of speech. What are the different parts of speech? If you think about the parts of speech, go ahead and just list the ones that you can think of. So we have a noun, we have verb, we have adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. And let's just talk about what each part of speech does. So what is a noun? What does a noun do? A noun is a person, place, or thing, or it can be an idea. A noun names something. The subject of our sentence is a noun. Now, what is a verb? A verb is the word in our sentence that shows action or state of being. So either someone is doing something, or could be in our list of being verbs, am, is, are, was, were, be, being, and been. And sometimes we have helping verbs along with our main verb. And we have our list of helping verbs: have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, may, might, must, can, and could. Those are our helping verbs. Now, what does an adjective do? Adjective and adverb, what kind of words are those? What do we call them? Adjectives and adverbs are our describing words or our modifiers. So they describe other words in the sentence. Now, what kind of words do adjectives describe? Adjectives describe nouns and pronouns, and they answer specific questions while they're describing. What questions do they answer? Which one, what kind, how many, how much, and whose. Now, adverbs also describe words, but what kinds of words do adverbs describe? Adverbs describe verbs, adjectives, and other adverbs. And what questions do adverbs answer? Where, when, how often, and to what extent. Okay, then we have our prepositions. What do prepositions do? What are our prepositions? We've sang them many times. We have aboard, about, above, across. We have that whole list, that paper that you have. Those are listing our prepositions. But what do they actually do? So a preposition shows relationship between a word after it, its object, and another word in the sentence. So it might say the kitten was under the table, or beside the table, or on the table. It shows the relationship between the object and something else. Okay? What does a conjunction do? A conjunction is a connecting word. And our list of conjunctions are and, but, or, nor, for, and yet. They connect. What about interjections? Interjections show sudden or strong feeling. We have mild ones and we have stronger ones. Words like ouch, oh, wow, those are interjections. Okay, so we have noun, verb, adjective, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection, and last we have our pronoun. So what does the pronoun do? The pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. Words like I, you, his, it is a noun, but it is not actually naming the person anymore. It's just using another word that takes the place of the thing or person you were talking about. Okay? Now, what about subject-verb agreement? What is subject-verb agreement? Now, subject-verb agreement is when if you have a plural subject, then you also have a plural verb, so they agree. If you have a singular subject, you also have a singular verb, so then they also agree. But how can you tell if you have a singular or plural subject or verb? Now, first of all, our subjects, nouns, most times they end in S if they are plural, like balls, dogs, houses. If they are singular, most times they do not end in S, like ball, dog, and house. But verbs are the opposite. Verbs that are plural, most times they do not end in S. Verbs that are singular, most times they do end in S. So remember, it's opposite from each other. For your lesson today, you have page 262, 263, and 264. Notice on page 264 that right B is, or it says lesson 168 and 170. But we have lesson 168 today. We have the test on Monday. And then lesson 170 is, we're going to finish language on Monday. So this right B that's on the bottom of page 264 is optional. We're not going to have that as a lesson in itself. If you want to write about a place you would like to visit, go for it. But you do not have to. We're not going to do that lesson. So you do not have to do right B on page 264, but do page 262, 263, and think A on page 264. Test is on Monday, and that will complete language for our year. So thank you for listening. It's been fun doing class, mostly when we were actually at school, but this was our last language class, so go ahead and work your lesson very carefully. You also need to study for your test, which is on Monday. So take at least 10 minutes after you're done with your lesson and study for your test. Go through your chapter. Maybe you could get someone in your family to ask you questions from the chapter, and make sure that you are ready for the test. Let me know if you have any questions today. Work carefully, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.